In Davos, government questions Congress. Hello, welcome. You're watching a special broadcast of This Is Exclusive live from Jantar, Mantar, the epicenter of that big face-off between the Wrestling Federation of India and top legends of our country. For the last 3 days, ladies and gentlemen, icons of our sporting fraternity have been camping here. They've leveled some sensational charges, from sexual harassment to corruption to torture, and this is against a four-time parliamentarian from the Bharatiya Janata Party who's heading the Wrestling Federation of India. Over the last few days, Vinesh Phogat, Sakshi Malik, as well as Bajrang Punia and several other wrestlers have been camping here at this very place where we are broadcasting live from. Even CAP members have now come here. They've joined together and they have been demanding that they need a complete overhaul of what they call a corrupt Wrestling Federation of India. Little did we ever think that our sporting icons will have to go through this, that they have to be on the streets. And a biting cold here in the national capital, our wrestlers are on the streets demanding that the government basically steps in. In fact, Vinesh Phogat invoked the support that she got from the Prime Minister when it came to the successes, the laurels that she brought for the country. But today, the same very sporting icons are here. They're demanding that there should be not only a complete overhaul, but they're also demanding that the Wrestling Federation of India's president, Brij Bhushan, should be sacked. On the other hand, it turns out that Brij Bhushan is completely defiant. Every time he's asked to resign, he says, "I will not resign." In fact, we've also had our reporters on the ground confronting Brij Bhushan, but there has been absolutely no response. In fact, they've only been saying that there is no question of resignation. In fact, we'll also try and go across to our reporters on the ground getting us the latest details. Remember, here there have been a lot of chaos here at Jantar Mantar only because this is beyond the permissible time. Around 5:30, around till about 5 o'clock, they are allowed to protest here. Beyond that, everyone is asked to leave. We've had the wrestlers who were here address the media a short while back. They've all gone back. In fact, we're given to understand that the wrestlers, Bajrang Punia and others who were essentially here, they have now gone to have a meeting with the sports minister. We'll try and go across to Anuj, who's outside Anurag Thakur's residence. We'll try and get a latest update as to what's really happening, because it turns out that there is a sporting event starting from tomorrow in Ayodhya, starting from the 21st to the 23rd. And it turns out that they have been threatened that if the wrestlers do not really attend this particular meet starting from 21st, then there is a high possibility that they could face some sort of an action. Let me go across to my colleague Anuj, who's reporting from outside the sports minister's residence. Anuj, walk us through the details that you're picking up. The wrestlers did actually leave from this place a short while back. What's the situation on the ground?
Well, Shaman, any moment from now, this is going to be when the wrestlers will be reaching the residence of Anurag Thakur, from where I am reporting. Let me give you the sense of the area. The preparation is underway. This is going to be an important meeting. Let me also tell you, the DG Sai is already inside. On the other hand, this is the secretary herself who is inside, and they are holding a meeting. Earlier in the day, we have seen in the afternoon, this was the meeting of the top officials of the sports ministry who was there inside along with the sports minister himself. And they have discussed about the future strategies, how to resolve this particular issue. As we do know that this is the third day when the wrestlers are continuously protesting at Jantar Mantar, and their demands are very much clear. They want action, they want issue to be resolved. So any moment from now, Shavan, they will be reaching here. Earlier, this was the time which was given at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, what we were told, and we'll keep will remain with the visuals also to keep monitoring the movement right outside Anurag Thakur's residence. So we were talking about the meeting which was discussed late evening, and it was decided that this is going to happen at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Later it was postponed to 10:30 a.m. Shravan, but then too it was the strategy, it was the planning of the wrestlers where they decided that they are not going to go ahead with any kind of meeting until and unless they decide that what exactly has to be done. We have recently seen the press conference there where Pogart herself was making it clear that their demands are very much clear from the day one. They want the president to be sacked. They want the structural change in the federation. This is something which has been made in very much clear. On the other hand, they have been talking. If we talk about the wrestlers, they have been talking about the proof they have. They have been talking about the harassment they have gone through. And this is not limited to one corruption charge or anything, but this is about the mental harassment. This is about the sexual harassment, which has been stated very much specifically by the wrestlers sitting there on on the protest at Jantar Mantar. So this is going to be very important meeting, Shravan, which is going to start any moment from now at Anurag Thakur's residence. The officials, the top officials of the sports ministry is already inside. They are chairing the meeting, and now this is going to be the wrestlers who any moment from now will be reaching Anurag Thakur's residence, and there this is going to be decided that what exactly is going to happen next. We do understand, if we talk about Brij Bhushan, he is maintaining the same, that the charges are baseless. Yes.
Anuj.
Yes, Shravan.
Anuj, I'll just request you to stay on as we'll also try and go across to Harsha in a short while from now. We'll try and see if she's available. We'll bring her also. She did actually try speaking to some of the wrestlers here, athletes here, to get us a sense of what's really happening. But before I go across to Harsha, let me try and explain this to our viewers as to what exactly are the demands, how far have they been met, and what is the kind of communication that has been done by the government so far. Let's begin by the complaints that were started, and how did it all begin? It all started here at Jantar Mantar about 2 days ago, when you've had the top sporting legends, world champions, camping here, and everyone was basically taken by surprise. The fact that you've had the sporting legends here, sitting here, and they said that around 4 o'clock that day they would have revealed something sensational, and that's exactly what happened. Around 4 o'clock, Bajrang Punia addressed the media and thereafter made those sensational charges against the Wrestling Federation of India President Brij Bhushan Sharma. For the first time, the entire nation got to know that there were predators in the Wrestling Federation of India, and the fact of the matter is that it only does not end with the president of the WFI, but it turns out that the allegation was also leveled against the coaches. The allegation essentially being that during these national camps, a lot of athletes were actually facing sexual harassment, and it does not end there. The other two important charges that were leveled by the wrestlers was actually the fact that essentially what was happening, that getting the sponsorship. Earlier the sponsorship would have come directly to the athletes, but it now turns out all of this was now being directed through the Wrestling Federation of India, and they suggested, Bajrang Punia himself suggested, that this could be because there is corruption that is going on. In return, they've said that they're going to continue with these protests unless there is a complete overhaul, with the first demand essentially being that the Wrestling Federation of India's president, Brij Bhushan Sharma, should be sacked. And not just that, there were also some very uncomfortable details that came out. The fact that one of the athletes made this comment that they were feeling very uncomfortable because the Wrestling Federation of India's president was staying in the same very hotel, flouting the very rule that is there. To the while Brij defined, he's been to define. He's going to respond to the allegations that have been leveled. We'll try and also go across to Harsha right now. Harsha, just a quick recap of what's really happened in the last 24 hours. Because the first level of dialogue, the dialogue happened between the government and the wrestlers. First it was with the sports secretary, and then that late night meeting, down the meeting that's going to take place. Harsha, why don't you take us through the details, and then we'll also once again go back to Anuj.
Exactly, Shawan. The first round of meeting was held with the sports secretary when Anurag Thakur was in Himachal. At that time, the meeting went on for 1 hour, where sports secretary Sujata met the wrestlers Bajrang Punia, Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart, and they kept them in front of sports secretary. Their all issues that this is what we want. We want WFI president to be sacked, and these are the demands of wrestler. And below than that, we are not going to accept anything. And after that, we saw that Anurag Thakur leaving everything from Himachal. He straight away came to national capital. He invited wrestlers at his residence, and we saw late night till 2 o'clock. The meeting happened at the residence of Anurag Thakur over dinner, where the issues were discussed. But clearly, Shawan, the issues were not resolved. That were only discussed because all the wrestlers who came back from that meeting later at night, they didn't speak about the meeting. But in the morning hours, through the sources and what we were collecting from Deepak Punia, from Bajrang Punia, and Vinesh Fogart, they were not satisfied with the meeting which happened with the sports minister Anurag Thakur. That was the reason why they were again called at 8:30 a.m. in the morning, but they didn't go at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. They decided what will be their future course of action. They had a meeting amongst themselves. They skipped the meeting which was to happen at the residence of Anurag Thakur at early morning hours.
Harsha, just request you to stay on.
6 p.m.
Harsha, we're just getting in some more latest updates on this matter. Harsha, sorry to interrupt you. I'll just request you to stay on with us. I'll also quickly go across to my colleague Amandeep, because as we understand, there's a candlelight march that is going on right now in Chandigarh that is in support of the wrestlers. Let's try and go across to Amandeep for the latest details. Amandeep, take us through the details that you're picking up. Who are the wrestlers? What is it that they are saying? Do try speaking to some of them to get us a sense of where do they stand on this matter.
Well, absolutely, Shawan, and in fact, for the wrestlers to extend the support, the Congress unit of Chandigarh is protesting here with the candle march, and I can show you the visuals. All the placards and the posters are in their hands demanding the justice for these wrestlers, especially for the female sports persons, just because the kind of incident happening, and in fact the statements coming from the side of these wrestlers are very much disturbing, and that is the reason they have held a candle march with the placards in Chandigarh to extend their support to these wrestlers. We will try to talk to them also. Ma'am, what is your demand? Why you are holding this candle march with the placards of the wrestlers?
You know, from the last 3 days, the players are sitting at Jantar Mantar, and nobody will care for that. We only want that Modi Sarkar should be come here and talk with them that what had happened. Some investigation team has been raised, but till today nothing has been done, and we demand that the girls are not safe, and the jumla which Modi ji said, beti bachao beti padhao, is totally failed, and no daughter of any person is safe at any stage of their platform, neither at school time, neither at home, nor at the maximum platform. And we demand only that resignation should be there for that bridge Mohan jo bhi hai. And the candle march is only for the respect of those players who fight for our country and got their good medals for our country and named our country. And we are only
today also wrestlers are going to meet Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, and in fact those protesting wrestlers has made it very clear that don't politicize that entire protest. So what do you say about that?
That is definitely right on their part, but being a human beings, we are still here. We are not on we have a tag of Congress party, but today we all are here to give that our respect to that girl which that this incident was happened, and regard to that we are only here there in the human beings, because we have also our children.
So in fact, Shivan, you can see the visuals that placard in their hands, and in fact basically they belongs to Congress party, but they are saying that they are extending the support to their sports persons who are actually suffering from this very much situation, and even they are demanding justice with the resignation of Brij Bhushan from the post immediately, and this is what the demand of the wrestlers also. So
as a political party, we are here to express our solidarity with the Olympians who won medals for the country, who have done proud to the nation, and the nation today wants to stand in solidarity with these people because they are being harassed, they are being, tortured. They are sitting there for the last 3 days, braving the cold weather, and I'm surprised, I'm shocked when the governments, when these people get medals, they tweet, they click photographs with them. They claim so many things, but now when these people are in distress, when they are crying for justice, I'm shocked to see that such a person who's at the helm of affairs, who is a 4-time or 5-time member of parliament, he's not being said anything for the last 3 days. Meetings. What is the use of meetings? I feel that your channel is a responsible channel and must take up this issue, and everybody in India and will take up this issue because this concerns the common man of this country.
Well, we basically, I just wanted to give you some information. The Republic is the only channel running the campaign against Brij Bhushan with the hashtag of Sack Brij Bhushan. Are you supporting that campaign also?
Yes, we definitely support any such kind of campaign which is against the might and with the people who try to suppress the common man, or these are common girls who come from common background, but they have done laurels to the country. They brought so much of respect to the country. Now, for the last 3 days, I'm shocked, and I give all respect to your channel for taking up this cause, and we should all fight till the time that Mr. Brij Bhushan doesn't resign and FIR is registered against him.
So, Savan, you can see the visuals also, and in fact the statements that they are trying to feel the pain of those wrestlers who have actually come up with certain kind of allegations after getting so much harassment from the Wrestling Federation of India. So this is all happening from every nook and corner. The voices are coming in to support the wrestlers who are continuously sitting on the protest with the demand of resignation of Brij Bhushan from Chandigarh till Delhi and to other parts of the country. Over to you, Savan.
Well, thank you very much, Amandeep, for getting us the latest details from Chandigarh. More and more people now joining the campaign to sack Brij Bhushan Sharma. In fact, he's supposed to be addressing the media. Earlier in the day too, he was asked those pointed questions by Republic TV as to whether at all he's going to step down pending an investigation. It turns out that he remains defiant. Slipping into a short break. On the other side, we continue our special coverage. Republic stands with the wrestlers.
आप पहुंचते हैं सीमा सुरक्षा बल सर। लास्ट पोस्टिंग बिफोर रिटायरमेंट वाज डीजी बीएसएफ सर।
डीजी बीएसएफ में उन दिनों देखिए सबसे बड़ी चुनौती मेरे लिए थी कश्मीर की। कश्मीर में उस समय
आग लग चुकी थी सर।
हाँ, आग लग चुकी थी, बुरी तरह से लग चुकी थी। बीएसएफ के पैर जम चुके थे, बीएसएफ की धाक थी। मैं सोपोर का दौरा कर रहा था तो वहां मैंने देखा कि दूर कोई झंडा फहरा रहा है। ये किसका झंडा है भाई? उसने बैनर, उन्होंने कहा सर ये पाकिस्तान का झंडा है। मेरे सुनते बदन में आग लग गई कि पाकिस्तान का झंडा मेरे आंख के सामने फहरा रहा है, हिंदुस्तान की जमीन पे ये हो कैसे सकता है? आई वांट दैट दिस प्लेस शुड बी अटैक्ड, द मुजाहिदीन शुड बी डिसलॉज्ड एंड द फ्लैग हैज टू बी टेकन ऑफ।
Republic 48.3%, 374% more viewership than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy has destroyed the landing experiment. Republic TV, voice of the people.
आप पहुंचते हैं सीमा सुरक्षा बल सर। लास्ट पोस्टिंग बिफोर रिटायरमेंट वाज डीजी बीएसएफ सर।
डीजी बीएसएफ में उन दिनों देखिए सबसे बड़ी चुनौती मेरे लिए थी कश्मीर की। कश्मीर में उस समय
आग लग चुकी थी सर।
हाँ, आग लग चुकी थी, बुरी तरह से लग चुकी थी। बीएसएफ के पैर जम चुके थे, बीएसएफ की धाक थी। मैं सोपोर का दौरा कर रहा था तो वहां मैंने देखा कि दूर कोई झंडा फहरा रहा है। ये किसका झंडा है भाई? उसने बैनर, उन्होंने कहा सर ये पाकिस्तान का झंडा है। मेरे सुनते बदन में आग लग गई कि पाकिस्तान का झंडा मेरे आंख के सामने फहरा रहा है, हिंदुस्तान की जमीन पे ये हो कैसे सकता है? आई वांट दैट दिस प्लेस शुड बी अटैक्ड, द मुजाहिदीन शुड बी डिसलॉज्ड एंड द फ्लैग हैज टू बी टेकन ऑफ।
We see all these wrestlers who have gathered here, Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart, Bajrang Punia, who are sitting right here, and more of these aspirants, these budding wrestlers who have gathered here in huge numbers, because it is really about their careers, their future. It is about the youth of our country. Senior wrestlers are saying that they are proud of these children who are raising their voices, who've come right here and who've had the courage to speak up against Brij Bhushan Sharan.
हो गया बस।
Sir, you said it is a political vendetta. You are not replying. Are you condemning your son's act or not?
ये पूरा मेरा बेटा को पुलिस ने भिजाया में सरेंडर कर दिया। पुलिस वाला एक्शन लेके वो चीज पे नहीं। आप पूरा देखने के बाद आप बताओ पहले।
A rolling coverage on this flashpoint between the wrestlers and the federation itself. What's really going to happen as far as the future of Brij Bhushan Sharma is concerned? The man who is at the center of this entire controversy. Brij Bhushan Sharma faces some of the most serious allegations leveled by none other than Vinesh Fogart, Bajrang Punia, as well as Sakshi Malik. It's not only these three sporting legends who have come together, but they say that there are several other wrestlers who have now come together to expose the misdeeds of the Wrestling Federation of India under the tenure of Brij Bhushan Sharma. In fact, we've been confronting him right from day one, asking him those difficult questions, and he says that he's not going to respond. He says he's not going to resign. Let me bring in my colleague Madhurima, who's been tracking Brij Bhushan Sharma in Gonda, where he's expected to address the media in a short while from now. Madhurima, you spoke to him earlier in the day. He was supposed to do the press conference a short while back. It seems that's got deferred. Any particular reason? And is there anything that you're picking up? Any possibility that finally Brij Bhushan Sharma will actually step down so that there could be an impartial investigation into the allegations that have been leveled by the wrestlers?
Entire matter here is that very when I even confronted him, he said that
Well, in fact, we'll try and reconnect with Madhurima in a short while from now. There seems to be some problem with her line. But, you know, with regards to the protest of the Federation, several of these wrestlers who have now gathered here, this is the third day of the wrestlers coming together and continuing with their protest. Even till about half an hour ago when we spoke to the wrestlers, they said that this protest is not going to end. They say that this is a fight to justice till the end. Take a look at this report.
क्या आपको 24 घंटे जो अनुराग बोले गए जो न्यूज़ चल रही है वो सही है कि गलत है?
क्या
24 घंटे की आपको रिजाइन करने
नहीं कोई रिजाइन करने के लिए नहीं, जवाब के लिए रिजाइन करने के लिए नहीं। क्या जवाब आपने दे दिया? रिजाइन करने के लिए नहीं, जवाब के लिए। आपने जवाब दे दिया? 24 घंटे के अंदर जवाब चला जाएगा।
प्रेसिडेंट सर उसी होटल में रहे जहाँ पे टीम थी, जहाँ पे लड़कियों के रूम थे, महिला खिलाड़ियों के रूम थे, उन्हीं के रूम के सामने उन्होंने रूम लिया। मेरे को खुद जूनियर खिलाड़ियों ने बताया है कि वो रूम हमेशा अपना ओपन रखते थे जबकि उनके सामने महिला खिलाड़ियां रहती थी।
और आज हमारे पास 5 से 6 लड़कियां आ गई हैं, विद प्रूफ है हमारे पास में, उनके साथ में जो हुआ है। हमें मजबूर ना किया जाए सबके सामने आने के लिए। हम सब आत्मसम्मान को अपने बचाने के लिए लड़ाई लड़ रहे हैं। हम लड़कियों का आत्मसम्मान सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है। हिंदुस्तान की बेटियां हैं हम जनता के सामने आके ये बताना नहीं चाहते कि आपकी बहन बेटियों के साथ में क्या क्या हुआ है, मेरे साथ क्या हुआ है, किसी और के साथ में। हम XYZ किसी का नाम आगे नहीं लेके आना चाहते।
Slipping into a short break. On the other side, our rolling coverage continues. We get you the latest details as to what's going to happen as far as the fate of the wrestlers are concerned.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Republic 48.3%. 374% more viewership than News 18 in super prime time. Content supremacy has destroyed the landing experiment. Republic TV, voice of the people.
Why we see all these wrestlers who have gathered here, Sakshi Malik, Vinesh Fogart, Bajrang Punia, who are sitting right here, and more of these aspirants, these budding wrestlers who have gathered here in huge numbers, because it is really about their careers, their future. It is about the youth of our country. Senior wrestlers are saying that they are proud of these children who are raising their voices, who've come right here and who've had the courage to speak up against Brijbhushan Sharan.
Right now we are at Chhatrasal Stadium, and what we have got to know from the wrestlers who are training here at Chhatrasal Stadium, from where these big wrestler and athletes Bajrang Punia, Ravi Daya have practiced and have gone to the nationals and played Olympics. Now we are learning that all these wrestlers will be participating the dharna which is going on at Jantar Mantar, and they all will be participating, and they have said that their movement is today in support with Bajrang Punia and with other athletes and wrestlers.
हो गया बस
Sir, you said it is a political vendetta. You are not replying. Are you condemning your son's act or not?
पूरा मेरा बेटा को पुलिस ने भिजाया में सरेंडर कर दिया। पुलिस वाला एक्शन लेंगे वो चीज पे नहीं।
मानते हैं कि नहीं कि गलत काम?
आप पूरा देखने के बाद आप बताओ पहले।
For we cannot weep in joy and pride when Sakshi Malik, Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Fogart, Sangeeta Fogart and many others fight and give their sweat and sacrifice to win us medals, to make us proud. We can't now therefore look away when these national icons are reduced before our very eyes to fighting a lonely battle against sexual exploitation and abuse and corruption. We are for the wrestlers and against the politician. The in-flight pervert who urinated on a senior female co-passenger cannot play victim. The airline that refused to act cannot wash its hands off with delayed and very cursory action. It is only the Republic Media Network's non-stop campaign which has ensured that this pervert is terminated from his job. VVIP racism is when
A pre-budget look at the economy. A SWOT analysis on the Indian economy. Gauging the present and future outlooks. Economists, thinkers, policymakers decode the India story. The Republic Dialogues, a thought leadership series.
Fight for justice, India says nothing but sack WFI boss Brijbhushan. In the dock for harassment charge, Brijbhushan remains brazen even as demands for sacking rise across the country. Nitish's Neta stokes controversies, threatens of Karbala if prophet is insulted. Swati Maliwal harassment tape out. Drunk lout seen harassing the DCW chief in video. BJP questions the video.
Government sets the record straight, calls out the West propaganda on BBC, which is defending the docuseries this evening. And face off over the Pfizer confrontation in Davos. Government questions Congress, which backed Pfizer during the COVID surge. Getting in pictures of Candle March in Chandigarh. In fact, across the country there is a protest, and we have more and more pictures, more support for our athletes. Let's cut across live to Chandigarh.
और वो लेके जंतर मंतर पे बैठे हुए हैं, लेकिन सरकार उसके लिए बिल्कुल चुप है, ठीक है। और जो वो व्यक्ति है, जो वहाँ का उस कमेटी का जो प्रधान है, वो ये कहता है कि मैं तो त्याग पत्र नहीं दूंगा किसी भी हालत में। और मोदी सरकार चुप है, खट्टर सरकार चुप है। क्यों चुप हो भाई? ये तो बता दो। बातें करते हो बड़ी बड़ी, लड़की बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ। किस चीज की बेटी बचाओगे आप जो बेटी हैं आपके देश के लिए, आपके लिए मेडल जीत के ला रही है, आपके देश का नाम रोशन कर रही है, उन लड़कियों की ये दुर्दशा है, तो एक गरीब व्यक्ति की बेटी की क्या दुर्दशा करते होगे आप? क्यों नहीं सुना जा रहा? उसी के लिए आज रोष है। और हाँ, आज हम लोग यहाँ पे कैंडल मार्च कर रहे हैं। हम कैंडल मार्च किसी पार्टी के अधीन होके नहीं कर रहे हैं, एक मानवता के आधार पे कर रहे हैं कि बताओ उन बच्चियों का क्या कसूर है। हम भी एक माँ बाप है बच्चियों के, हम अपने बच्चों को खेलने के लिए भेजते हैं, तो कहाँ हमारे बच्चे सेफ हैं? ना स्कूल कॉलेज में सेफ है, ना रात को सेफ है, ना कहीं बड़े लेवल पे सेफ है, तो लड़कियां जाएं कहाँ? मोदी जी से मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ, आप कहते हो कि जी यहाँ तो पूजा होती है लड़कियों की, तो फिर अब पुजारी लोग कहाँ बैठे हुए हैं चुप? क्यों ठंड के कारण बिस्तरों में बैठ गए हैं जाके? कुछ नहीं दिख रहा है उनको। कब बोलेंगे वो? आज मुद्दा है बोलने का, मोदी जी को बोलना ही पड़ेगा। देखिए, कांग्रेस मानवता के आधार पे खड़ी है उन लोगों के साथ। हम ये चाहते हैं कि आज अगर उन लड़कियों के साथ ये हो रहा है, इमीडिएट उसको त्याग पत्र देना चाहिए। इवन कि उसकी सांसदा भी उनको रद्द करनी चाहिए। ऐसे व्यक्ति की हमारे देश में कोई जरूरत नहीं है। क्यों ऐसा? जो सेफ, जिसको हम सेफेस्ट समझते हैं, वो ही ऐसा दरिंदा बन गया, तो कहाँ जाएंगे? कोई लड़की झूठ नहीं बोल रही है, अगर उसके पास तथ्य होंगे तभी वो सड़क पे बैठी, अदरवाइज कोई बच्चा अपने आप को बदनाम करने की कोशिश नहीं करता। और सरासर जवाब, इन्वेस्टिगेशन की कोई टीम ही नहीं बनी है। 3 दिन हो चुके हैं, वो कहते हैं हम प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करेंगे। भाई तुसी डीसी लगे हो, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करांगे तो है की चीज? जे तो कुड़ियां दी इज्जत दे ऊपर आ रहे हैं, उन्होंने तानाशाही, उन्होंने रवैया बता रहे हैं। मैं कहनी हां सरकार दे विच किसी ਨੂੰ भी ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰ नहीं हैगा कि कोई किसी दे प्रति, किसी बच्ची दे या बच्चे दे प्रति भी कोई इंसल्टिंग बिहेवियर करे। ते ਇਹ इंसल्टिंग बिहेवियर नहीं तो होर की है। ਅਸੀਂ ਕੜੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੜੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਵੀ ਮਿਲੇ, ਉਹ ਤਿਆਗ ਪੱਤਰ ਦੇਵੇ, ਔਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਮਾਨ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਰਕਰਾਰ ਰਹੇ
हम ये चाह रहे हैं।
Amandeep joining us on the phone line from Delhi to Chandigarh. More and more support for our wrestlers. Amandeep, we're looking at those pictures, and I think a lot of people across India raising questions about the way this entire situation has been handled.
Well, absolutely, Nandan, absolutely. The cause is very deeper, and in fact...
Absolutely. The cause is very deeper, and in fact, this is touching everyone in a nation, and that is the reason throughout the country people are coming on the streets and supporting these wrestlers who are sitting on the protest continuously in New Delhi. And in fact, this time a candle march was held by the Congress Party, Youth Congress in fact, and even demanding the resignation of Brij Bhushan, and even they are more concerned about the players who brought several laurels to the nations. And in fact, they are mentioning during the protest, they are the one who are following these sports persons from whom they are very much influenced, and their children are following the line of these sportsmen. And now when they are sitting on the protest, they are sitting on the roads, it's quite touchy. And in fact,